James West is part of a defense that thrives on punishment. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers' target tonight is the BC Lions. Doug Flutie had a great game against Calgary. Can he repeat that tonight against Winnipeg? The debut of one-on-one with Bomber defensive back Les Brown. And a rough night for Hamilton's Wally Zatilny. Those stories coming up in the next 30 minutes on the CFL Report.
It's a hot summer evening in Winnipeg, and where better to be than the stadium for a football game that will start in about a half hour between the Bombers and the BC Lions. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the CFL Report from Winnipeg. I'm Gord Miller. You know, the Bombers have won 2 of the last 3 Grey Cups, and there's really no secret to their success. It comes when they don't have the ball. Looking for the secret to all those Grey Cup wins, look under D for defense.
According to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of defense is a means of resisting attack. According to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the definition of defense is a means of attacking, destroying, and punishing the opposition. It is safe to say the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have the best defense in the CFL. In their season opener, they allowed Hamilton only 9 points. Although the entire unit is solid, the leaders are the linebackers. James West was the general in Hamilton. West had a pair of interceptions and was constantly pressuring the Hamilton quarterbacks.
We wanted to get off to a good start. We felt like we were going to be a very good ball club this year because we felt like our offense was going to give us a lot of breaks, you know, getting us a little rest. And that's all we need, a little rest as far as defense, and we'll take care of the job from there. We know they were going to move the ball and give us time to recuperate, and then when you give us time to recuperate, we take care of business.
It's a linebacking core that has great credentials. Greg Battle, last year's most outstanding defensive player. James West, 4 times an All-Star with 16 career interceptions and 40 quarterback sacks. And Tyrone Jones, a 5-time All-Star with 90 career quarterback sacks. Unfortunately, Jones injured his knee against Hamilton, and he'll be out for a month. His replacement will be Paul Randolph. But even with Jones out of the lineup, these linebackers can make a quarterback wins. Will that quarterback tonight be Doug Flutie?
And joining us now on the CFL Report is BC quarterback Doug Flutie. Even without Ty Jones, this is a fearsome Bomber defense, isn't it?
They're very aggressive. They've got a lot of talent, guys that are quick and move around. That's going to be the key to the game, is our guys up front picking them up, giving us an opportunity to move the ball.
Doug, last week 430 yards passing. You completed 60% of your passes, and your football team loses. Is that frustrating for you?
It's a little bit frustrating. We did a lot of positive things on offense, but we also made mistakes, and we had opportunities to score more points. So there's plenty of room for improvement. It was good to be out on the field moving the ball and feeling good about the way we were moving it. So at least it's a positive as far as that was concerned.
Just one of the guys was the quote from you yesterday. Happy to be just one of the BC Lions instead of the BC Lion that has all the attention.
That was kind of thrown at me, but basically, yeah, you feel I'm a lot more relaxed. It's not like I'm being singled out for anything, and I'm just playing my role with the team, which is nice. I haven't been in that position for quite a while.
Doug Flutie, thanks very much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Doug Flutie, the BC Lions, our guest here on the CFL Report. Let's go now to John Wells and Leif Pedersen.
All right, Gord, Flutie's numbers last week were the best he ever posted in Canadian football. He still came up 5 points short, but signs are encouraging. And he's got 2 receivers we've called the Montana Connection that are exciting and new this year.
Yeah, you know, these 2 young guys are great. Matt Clark and Mike Trevathorn, they come in as raw rookies, and on opening night, both had great opening nights. Mike Trevathorn, 4 catches. Matt Clark, all he did was 7. You know, they come into this CFL with some great credentials. Trevathorn, the leading receiver in Montana history. Matt Clark right behind at number 3 all time. So these fellas can do the job, and I was really happy to see them perform under some pretty trying conditions last week.
Another receiver had a couple of touchdowns. His name was Tony Hunter, and he looked pretty good in a BC uniform as well.
How about him? A last-minute replacement the day before he wasn't even going to play. He gets a couple of touchdowns and had some punch to that offense, so that's nice to see. Whether they'll be great tonight, who knows?
It's still the Blue Bomber defense facing Doug Flutie here in Winnipeg tonight. Gord?
Thanks very much, gentlemen. Look forward to your comments later on this evening. You know, this game features 2 of the best kickers in the history of the Canadian Football League. And tonight on Meet the Player, we meet the best from BC, Lou Pasaglia.
Louis Pasaglia began his CFL career in 1975, and 16 years later, he's still alive and kicking. Last year, Passaglia engraved his name in the history books by becoming the CFL's all-time leading scorer. Part of the reason he's been around so long may be the active lifestyle he leads in the off-season.
Well, basically, for me, it's strictly all sports. During hockey season, I try to catch the Canucks playing hockey. I do a lot of running, playing racquetball, basketball, even a little skiing and stuff. So it's mostly sports activities.
Before we show you this week's hits, let's take our hats off to Wally Zatilny of the Hamilton Ticats. Trust me, he deserves it. And here's why. Zatilny took a beating in the Ticats opener against Winnipeg. First, it was James West. But Zatilny wanted more. Another return, another hit. Greg Battle put Zatilny on his back as Wally's teammates shout encouragement. Oh, Wally! But the punishment continued. This time it was Michael Allen providing the hit. When it was all over, it was not surprising who Wally found to sit beside at the bench. Come on, Miles. You have to protect those little guys. Our second best hit of the week comes from the Argos-Ottawa game. Scott Flagel labeled Jeff Boyd. Flagel's timing is perfect as he nails Boyd as soon as he touches the ball and sends him flying. But our hit of the week comes from the Bombers-Ticat game. Winnipeg safety Dave Bevell welcomes Herman Hurd to the CFL with a shot heard round Iverwin Stadium. Dave Bevell with the TSN hit of the week. After week 1, the BC Lions had 2 top receivers. Tony Hunter caught 6 passes against Calgary for 138 yards. Rookie Matt Clark from the University of Montana hauled in 7 passes. Edmonton's David Williams caught 3 passes for 103 yards, while Calgary's Alan Pitts and the Bombers' Lee Hull round off the top 5.
Get your tickets. Kickoff for the Bombers home opener 1991, just over 28 minutes away. We'll have it for you here on TSN. And when the CFL Report continues, a feature we think you're going to enjoy. Les Brown, one-on-one, coming up next.
I know. Hey, you ain't get the offsides? I know you got offsides. Hey, I know you got offsides. I know you got that. Hey, no way he could have got back. Oh, man. Ain't no way he got back then. It's a neutral zone, ain't it?
Trivia time. Here's the first clue, and yes, always the toughest one. This former CFL great was originally from Los Angeles. He was an all-Pac-10 player with Washington State in 1977 before joining the Edmonton Eskimos prior to the NFL draft.
Last week on the CFL Report, we showed you the first edition of The Homeboys featuring Mike Clemens. Tonight, the new feature that we're also going to show you this season, one-on-one with Les Brown.
Flutie for Christensen, picked off. This is Les Brown on the return.
I'm sitting here in Hamilton, Ontario, waiting to see my good buddy Grover Covington, who I played with in Hamilton for 5 years. I'm anxious to see him. Bro! Hey, it's good to see you, buddy.
Same here, Les. Good to see you.
It's been a long time.
I know.
So, tell me, Grove, you ready for another year? Healthy and everything?
I think, yeah, I'm ready for another year. I'm ready.
Yeah?
I'm excited about it.
That's good. Yeah. Grover's getting kind of old, so I think I'll ask him this question. Grove, you played in the league 11 years, 4-time CFL All-Star, Been selected best defensive player on by the Shinleys. You're 35 years old. When you going to give it up?
You know, they've been saying that to me the past 5 years, so eventually I'm going to give it up, but I don't know when.
You must have been thinking about it. You started your little business out west. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, that's true. You know, that's one thing. Football is a kind of business that's so unpredictable, and you can't play it. Even though we would love to play it until it's time to retire, we can't. We know a lot of times we don't have control over when we can play and things like that. So I started this piece of business with Tim Lorenz and his brother Steve. It's a Little Caesars pizza, the best pizza in the world. Not because I own it, but it is the best pizza in the world.
And where is it? It's in BC?
Oh, yes, it's in Coquitlam, BC. About from the stadium, it'll take you about 45 minutes, but we don't deliver, so. But you can pick it up. It's great.
So I have to go visit there when I go.
Oh, you have to.
Sure.
It'll be on me.
Now, on a more serious note, Grove, I read in the paper about your brother Johnny. You mind telling me about that?
Well, you know, back in March of the 22nd of March, my brother was shot in the back of the head with a sawed-off shotgun, and while he was on the operating table, his heart stopped about 3 times. They had to start him back up. So it's a miracle that he's still alive. It was a revenge thing. Johnny was in a place where he shouldn't have been, and he seen a robbery happen, and the guy that was doing the robbery knew Johnny, and the guy that got robbed, they both guys knew each other. So it was more or less the guy that did the robbery thought that my brother told the guy that he robbed who he was, and so he said that he was going to get my brother back. It took a year and a half, and now he's talking, and he's walking with a cane, and he's getting a lot of therapy. So he has still a long ways to go, but I'm just happy and thankful that he's still alive.
Yeah, really. You know, when I played in Hamilton, me and Grover used to get each other ready by wrestling in the locker room, and I used to slam him around all the time. I still think I can take him. What do you think, Grove? You think, does anybody taking my place in the locker room by wrestling with you, getting you prepared for the games? You miss me, don't you?
I really do, because no one's been crazy enough to challenge me in a wrestling match since you left, because a lot of times you used to see what I did to you. But I have to say, you got a lot of heart, and I've always respected you, because, I mean, some of the poundings I put on you, I don't think the average man, I mean, like offensive linemen couldn't handle stuff like that. But you got a lot of heart.
Well, thanks, Well, I appreciate that, but you know what? I still think I can take you. I told you so. Maybe I spoke too soon.
A couple of minutes on the 55-yard line with Leif Patterson. I suppose, like everyone else in Canadian football, all you want to do is talk about the Rocket.
Well, we got to talk about the Rocket. I mean, you and I haven't had a chance. We never get to do any Toronto games, so tonight's our chance to talk about. Listen, I love it. The Rocket says, geez, my legs were shaking all night long. They were shaking when he was going down the sidelines. He looks great. Carl Bracely said it best. He said, we got guys on this team that got cars that don't go as fast as Rocket.
All right, is Rocket enough to save the Toronto Argonaut franchise and make it viable, strong, and terrific once more?
No, he is not enough to save the franchise, save the league, but I'll tell you what is the entertainment package they put together last night. The Blues Brothers, that was awesome. That was good.
So what do you want to do? Bring the Blues Brothers to every football game in Toronto?
No, well, if they can afford to, I mean, that would be fantastic. But look, hey, Toronto, listen, it's a major league town. They want a major league package before, during, and after the game, and if McNall and the boys give it to them, they'll be back.
So what do you do for an encore week 2?
Well, I don't know. That's the tough act to follow. This is I want to see. Hey, you guys did a great job last week, but what's up for the next one?
Leif loves the Rocket right here on the 55-yard line.
Long camera shot. Welcome back to Winnipeg Stadium. I'm here with my friends Bill and Susan Brown, who, by the way, want to say hi to their friends in Vancouver as they get set to take in this football game. Well, the CFL's best. All season long, we talked to players around the league about it, and this week we talked to quarterbacks.
This week on the CFL's Best, we asked some of the league's quarterbacks who they thought was the league's best cornerback.
I'd have to probably go with Rod Hill, just because Rod not only can play man-to-man as good or better than anybody in the league, but he's great in the defensive zones. He disguises things really well, and I really feel that he's probably one of the premier cornerbacks in the league, if not the best.
I play against two of the best every day in practice, and Les and Rod Hill, so I don't know. From the guys on our team, I have to say those two from out there in the league, it's hard to say because they're all pretty good. You know, it's hard to pick one out.
I'd have to put the guy from Ottawa, Andre Francis. He's a consummate professional. He works hard. You know, I played with him out at BC, and I've never seen a guy work as hard in practice as Andre. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's the first D going or the second defense. He's always out there. He runs all the plays. He's just a hard fighting guy. You know, he always gives his best on the field.
Winnipeg wide receiver Eric Streeter is enjoying his second season with the Bombers. He and his wife live in Winnipeg all year round, so he's far away from his home state of North Carolina and the two guys he idolized growing up.
I was fortunate enough to have two older brothers that I looked up to who I thought were great athletes, and I wanted to be just like them.
All equipped, a hat and a hot dog. What more could you ask for? How about some football? It's coming up in a few minutes, and the CFL Report continues in just a moment.
Our second clue. After missing the 1978 season with an injury, he was named Rookie of the Year in 1979. In 1984, he set a CFL record for most touchdown catches with 18, breaking the old record held by Edmonton GM Hugh Campbell.
Back at the Winnipeg Stadium with just a few of my closest friends who assure me they know the answer to tonight's trivia question, but they're not telling. Well, guys, what should we see now? How about around the league? What do you think?
Around the league. Around the league.
Here it is. Around the league.
All right.
At long last, the launch of the Rocket. Over 40,000 fans at Skydome saw Ragib the Rocket Ismail make his CFL debut. The Rocket looked great catching a pass and returning this punt on the reverse from Mike Clemens, 73 yards. The bottom line on the Rocket, 175 yards in kick returns, an excited home crowd, and more importantly for Toronto, a blowout 41-18 victory over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Meantime, in Calgary, the Stampeders blocked 2 Saskatchewan punts in the first quarter to set up a pair of early touchdowns. The Stamps went on to hammer the Green Riders 48-28 at McMahon Stadium. Wednesday night in Edmonton, Tracy Ham found Jim Sandusky in the Ottawa end zone late in the fourth quarter. The Eskimos roll over the Eastern Rough Riders by a final score of 40-33. Here in Winnipeg, preparations for the 1991 Grey Cup continue. The city of Winnipeg unveiled plans for the week-long festival and announced that 40,000 tickets have already been sold for the November Classic, which will be held right here at the Winnipeg Stadium.
The Grey Cup is a great festival for Canada, and hopefully it'll wear off in some of the other cities. They'll see what a great opportunity it is for their business community, their team, and we'll go from there.
This week on Fans Corner, we went to Edmonton and asked Eskimos fans if they thought new head coach Ron Lancaster was the right man to lead their team.
Yeah, because I think he sat in the press box long enough to get more experience, see the different type of offenses and defenses. I think he'll do a real good job.
I truly do. I think, I don't know, I think Papa Joe, I think, get out of hand, you know. No, I like the guy as a person, but I don't think he had, you know, it's too easy going to guys, patting the guys in the back, and, you know, that's the way I feel. I don't know. And I said it last year.
I guess we'll know at the end of the season. We don't know yet. First play of the game last time wasn't too good, though, that run back.
Well, I think so. He's got a lot of experience, knows the game, he knows Western Canada, so I think he'll do the Eskimos good.
He knows about Canadian football. You know, he hasn't had that much coaching experience, but I think he's got a lot of good help there, and type of person he is. I think personality-wise, I think he's great with the guys, with the players. I think he'll do well.
And from the fans' corner, it is now time to open the viewers' mail. We've got a timely question this week, Leif. Watch this. Here we go.
It comes from Calgary,
Alberta. Dear Leif, do you think Winnipeg is a good place for the Grey Cup? Now be careful, Leif. Remember where you are.
Well, you know, this is a tough one. Lucy, I'm in Winnipeg tonight, so I'm going to tell you this quietly. You know what? The league, I know what they're doing. They want to spread the game around. That's okay. They've got 40,000 seats sold already. That's okay. But you know what? It's too cold here. I don't want to come out here for a Grey Cup. It's too cold. Play it indoors, either Vancouver or Toronto, where the elements aren't a factor, and the guys can play to the best of their ability. Now, did anybody hear me say that?
Now, this is my old hometown. There's going to be a sellout here for the Grey Cup, and I think they have chosen wisely for 1991.
I knew you'd say that.
Particularly when I hear how many tickets they have sold for the 1991 Grey Cup game. Any thoughts or questions, drop us a line. Care of Leif Pedersen, the Sports Network, 1155 Leslie Street, Don Mills, Ontario. And be nice to Leif.
And we'll be watching for those Winnipeg postmarks. Yes, they are the defending Grey Cup champions, and they'll take the field in about 12 minutes' time. The CFL Report continues in Winnipeg in just a moment.
Our play of the week comes from Friday night at Taylor Field in Regina. Albert Brown takes the opening kickoff 97 yards for the touchdown. It was the first time a kickoff has been returned for a TD since August the 16th, 1989, when Darrell Wallace did it for the BC Lions. Brown's effort was all for naught, though, as the Edmonton Eskimos beat Saskatchewan 34-25. The third and final clue. He is currently the all-time leading pass receiver in both touchdowns and yardage. This year, he was named to the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. The answer is Brian Kelly.
You know, he may have been the unlikeliest man ever to put on football equipment and play in the CFL. He couldn't beat people with his speed. He couldn't beat people with his size. As it turns out, all Brian Kelly could do was beat people. He's the subject of this week's flashback.
You know, I played with some very good quarterbacks. Never thought he would be a Hall of Famer. You know, it all worked out just wonderfully.
For 9 seasons, Brian Kelly was a standout for the Edmonton Eskimos. He was a 6-time CFL All-Star and is the all-time leader in touchdown receptions with 97. Brian Kelly was a superstar, but his success even surprised the man that recruited him, Hugh Campbell.
I thought he might make it. I never thought he would be a Hall of Famer and such a great player for us. And I remember him taking the place of the great George McGowan, and George saying after Brian's first game, saying, well, I knew somebody would replace me, but I kind of thought it would take more than one game. You know? I started out with Tom Wilkinson, and then Warren Moon came along, and Matt Dunnigan, and Damon Allen, and I played even a couple games with Tracy Ham, and that was, you know, if you look at that and say, well, shoot, it's pretty easy to do good. But in that circumstance, I played with some very good quarterbacks. And plus, I was a real good salesman. I could sell them, you know. Shoot, I could get them to throw me the ball anytime I wanted to.
Kelly's career was very satisfying. He retired a champion and has no regrets.
I had a lot of fun. You know, it all worked out just wonderfully. I played 9 years. We won 6 Grey Cups. The last year I played, personally, I had a very good year. The team won the Grey Cup, so that was real satisfying. And, you know, I just called it a day. And at that point, you know, you make your decisions. You don't question them. You go forward.
Kelly is now quite content as part owner of a car dealership. As for his football accolades, they'll continue this October when Kelly will be inducted into the Football Hall of Fame.
We're getting set for football in Winnipeg. The BC Lions under Bob Obilovich getting set to take on the defending Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers here at the Winnipeg Stadium. All season long, we keep an eye on matchups throughout telecast for you. Tonight's matchup is a dandy. Chris Walby on the offensive line for Winnipeg goes up against BC Lion Rush and Stuart Hill. Both are former All-Stars, and both promise to entertain this evening, and kickoff is just over 7 minutes away. So coming up next, it's football live from Winnipeg, the Lions and the Bombers. Thanks for joining us in the CFL Report. Enjoy the game.